Get. All right, so we're gonna start in good old down dog, which is probably gonna be pretty common for this class. I like starting in down dog because it's a place we can kind of move. It's kind of the same philosophy behind it and why a lot of teachers start in tabletop or even extended child's pose, because it's just a place where we can explore. So when you come up into down dog, just start moving around. There's no right or wrong. Just start feeling the body. Start noticing whatever you can notice. There, again, there's no right or wrong. You can work with the shoulders a little more. You can work with the legs a little more, the hips, all of the above. All right, let's root those hands. So make sure your wrists are wider than your shoulders a little bit. Spread those fingers and get your feet so they're at least 6 inches apart. They could be a little wider if you want, and just push on back. See how it feels. Stretch it out. Draw the belly into the spine. Squeeze those shoulder blades a little bit. And then shift forward. Drop those knees down to the floor into extended child's pose. Take those knees just a little bit wider than the ribs. Press on back, stretch it out, pull those hips back. And come on back up to downward facing dog. Again, 6 inches apart at least or so, and then shift forward like you're coming into plank and go right past those wrists and then come back. And shift forward and back. At whatever pace feels right and good for you in this moment. Good, and let's press it back. The next time you're there, pause. Bend that right knee, sink the left heel down, push back, and switch. Stretch out those toes, really lift that heel off the ground. Let's go back and forth. So really getting onto those toes, stretching them out, and push back, and shift forward back to our extended child's pose. Lift those hands up this time, push those wrists forward, and stretch it out. And let's walk those hands on over to the right and inch those left fingertips away and slide that right arm along the side, so back a little bit, so you can use it to push over into that left side body. So use your right arm to push over into those ribs. Let the head hug inside the arm. Pull the left hip back. Take a nice deep breath there. And lift up, take it over to the other side. Just notice whatever you can notice. Notice how this side feels compared to the other. If there's any difference on this side. All right, let's take it back to center. Right hand lands in the center of your mat. Other hand on top. Tuck the tailbone, so curve the low back a little. Draw the belly into the spine and then pull those hips back as you let the head rest inside the arms. Saying good morning to the shoulders, and shift forward, release, and bring that other hand on top. Tuck and pull back and breathe. And let's shift forward until we can get those elbows down to the ground, interlace the fingers, and get those knees on in underneath the hips. Push away from the floor. So from the elbows to the armpits, push way up like we're gonna do forearm plank. And stretch out that right leg behind you. On the inhale, lift the leg, look up. On the exhale, squeeze in. Nice big breaths. Good, and the next time you squeeze in, pause there, push away from the ground, draw your cheek and knee together, and then bring that knee on down to the ground. Other side, stretch it out, lift up, look up, inhale, exhale. And the next time you come in, push away from the ground, squeeze in, and release. Inch those elbows back towards the knees until you can come into child's pose. And just drop for a second. And slowly lift up, roll up, vertebrae by vertebrae, like you're coming out of ragdoll all the way up to those knees until you're standing on the knees. And then just peek down, make sure those knees are underneath the hips. And then stretch those arms up overhead. Nice inhale over to the right. And I did that wrong. Inhale, center. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale and exhale. One more time each side. We want to end on that left side. And back to center when you get there. Inhale up, exhale, go back into just a little baby back bend. And then dive it down, plant those palms, pop back up to your down dog. My knee is really sticking these days. It just does not go from bent to straight. I think it's time. I think it might be time. It still won't go. Oh, wow. Oh, there it goes. All right, let's bend that left knee again, sink that right heel down. And again, peel that heel as far off the floor as it will go, that left heel. So you're just stretching out those toes really strongly, and then switch. All right, both heels down, push back. Get those shoulders strong, so draw the bottom inside edge of the shoulder blades together. So it kind of feels like you're moving your shoulder blades down your back. Float that left leg up. Nice inhale. Exhale, kick. And start to shift forward as you bring the knee into the chest. Draw the cheek and knee together. So you're kind of in this knee to cheek plank. And stretch it back. Inhale. Exhale, curl in as you shift forward. And the next time you stretch that leg up, lift it high, feel that stretch, and then bring it on down. Other side. Hold on, my knee won't straighten. There we go. Can't do it if my leg won't straighten. There we go. Inhale, lift. Exhale, kick. And squeeze in, shift forward, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Try and touch your nose to your knee. Or your cheek. No, let's go for nose. It's a little easier to touch. All right, the next time that leg floats up, pause there, lift it high, and bring it down. Press back. Bend those knees, walk those feet to the front. Half lift, inhale, fingertips to shins. And exhale, hinge. Good morning, hamstrings. And bend the knees slightly, bring the arms out to the sides and all the way up, reach high, and bring it to the heart. Inhale. Exhale, dive. Pausing here, pivot those hips forward, get that nice flat back, nice long spine. And bend those knees, step those feet back to plank. And push on up from the wrists to the armpits, push up, 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 up. Lift those knees up, press back through the heels, get this nice strong plank. Find the breath, inhale. Exhale, knees down, lie down. Cobra on your inhale. And exhale, back down, tuck those toes, push straight up, inhale. And exhale, push those hips to those heels, keep those toes tucked and just stretch it out here. Back up to our downward facing dog. And push on back, get solid here. Start to feel the difference between your down dogs as we start to get a little more warmed up. Get those shoulders strong. When you're ready, float that right leg up. Nice inhale, lift it high. Exhale, kick, squeeze in, knee to nose. Inhale up. Exhale this time outside that, what leg did I say? I said right arm. So try and touch that right tricep or that right elbow. And then over to the other side. And we're gonna go again. Inhale, exhale, center. Inhale up, exhale, outside that right arm, try and touch it. Inhale up, exhale over to that left arm, try and touch it. And one more time at your own pace. Get some heat building. And when you're done, let that foot land, press back, and then drop it down. Back to our extended child's pose. Give those wrists the attention that they need right now. Everybody needs a little different level of attention for those wrists. Some people's wrists need a lot more love, so to speak, than others. So if lifting your hands up and pushing the wrist forward is enough, great. If you need more than that, then make sure you give them what they need. Maybe they just need to rest down. Let's inch those hands forward until your hips lift away from your heels a little bit. We don't want our hips right over our knees, kind of halfway between the heels and the knees. And bring that right hand into center. Shift forward and swing that left arm open. Push away from the ground, reach for the ceiling, and then wrap that arm around the back and open up that left shoulder. And slowly try and keep that left shoulder as open as you can. So push the hand against the hip or whatever it's pressing against the low back to try and keep that left shoulder open as you pull the hips back. It's gonna be, the shoulder might lock up. You might have to drop the elbow down to the ground to get that shoulder to release. Ooh, we haven't done this stretch in a while. I can feel that. Keep that breath going. Slowly release. Come back to center. Take a moment to find center. Find your twist. Bring it around the back. Open up. Open that right shoulder. Breathe. Slowly take your time pulling back. This side may be different. If you drop the elbow down on the other side, do it on the side, even if it feels like you don't need to. Keep that breath going. And slowly release, shifting forward. Let's interlace those fingers again, elbows on the ground. Get those elbows under the shoulders, get those knees under, excuse me, the hips. Stretch out that right leg behind you. Square off those hips. On the inhale, take that leg over to the right, look over the right shoulder. On the exhale, take it across to the other side. Inhale and exhale. And the next time it comes over to the left, tuck those toes, plant that foot on the ground and curve around like you're trying to touch your left shoulder to your left hip, looking over that shoulder, looking for your right foot or leg. Draw the belly in, use your core to lift that leg up and bring it back in underneath. Stretch out that other leg. Push up from the elbows to the armpits. On the inhale, take it over to the left. On the exhale, over to the right. And the next time you come over to the right, tuck those toes, plant that foot on the ground and curve around. Draw the belly in, float that leg back up, and then bring it back down underneath you. Tuck those toes, lift those knees up into Ardha Pinchamayurasana, half-feathered peacock, more commonly called dolphin pose. Push up, push back. Feet can be close together, they can be far apart. You can kind of play around with that. And then walk those feet back. Excuse me, sorry. It's my 9 a.m. class, so I gotta clear my throat. And I haven't been up long enough this morning to get it clear. Into our forearm plank. So let's get those shoulders right over the elbows. Push up, elbows to armpits. Lift the knees up, press back through the heels. Get that nice straight line from the shoulders all the way to the heels. So we don't want our hips higher than our shoulders. Keep pushing up more than you think you can, more than you think you need to, from the elbows to the armpits. So you're really pushing your collarbone away from the floor. Breathe. Gaze in between the arms and keep the breath going. Drop the knees down when you need to. Enjoy the shaking. And drop those knees down, inch those elbows towards the knees until you can come into child's pose again. And roll it on up, lifting all the way up to those knees again, standing on our knees. Keep those knees right underneath the hips, interlace those arms. I'm tired. Oh my God, I just have not been teaching enough either. All right, overhead, overhead, interlace the fingers. Flip those palms away. Inhale, lift the heart, go back. And come back to center. Inhale, press up. Exhale, over to the right. Back to center, inhale, exhale. One more time each side. Inhale and exhale, release. Plant those palms, pop back up to our downward facing dog. Pedal the feet, rock the hips, whatever feels good here. You can tell I haven't been here. I am a cleaning fiend. It's one of my specialties. And not Ellen so much. I mean, she's clean enough, but like I'm, especially here, like I go with the vacuum in every corner every week and make sure there's nothing there that shouldn't be there. And we have lots of visitors right now because Amber's been away. So, all right, let's root those hands. We got to do the other side for our knee to chest. So float that left leg up. Nice. Inhale, lift high. Exhale, knee, chest, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Inhale, up. Exhale, outside that left arm. Try and touch that tricep. Inhale, over to that other arm. Try and touch the elbow. We're going to do it 3 times. So center first. That's our exhale. Squeeze. Left arm. Right arm. And one more time. Eventually landing back in down dog. When you're done, press back. Finding extended child's pose. Once again, giving those wrists the attention they need. If they need it. Maybe they're okay just settling and resting for a moment. And back up. Let's float that left leg up. Nice inhale. Exhale, knee to chest, shift forward, hold, squeeze. Push up, curl in. So you're really almost trying to do a cat here. And then go ahead and kick through to the thumb. You might need to grab that leg and give it a little help. The other kind of easier thing to do is to wiggle that right foot back a little bit if you need to get a little lower. Let's get nice and low here. So our left hip is as low as our knee. Let's bring those arms along the sides into airplane arms. Find your balance. If you feel unstable, maybe take your right foot over to the side a little bit more so make sure you're on those railroad tracks. Draw the shoulders back and down, reach through the fingertips, gaze inside the foot. Try and find Padasana in that front foot, so that triangle in your front foot. Lift the back knee up, press through the heel and lengthen from heel to crown and breathe. Interlace the fingers, push those knuckles to the wall behind you, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Float that knee down, sweep the arms up. Anjaneyasana. Let's keep those back toes under on this one and see how it feels. Wake up the front of that hip. Nice inhale. Exhale, slowly release. Lift that back knee back up, back to our low lunge. And fly those arms back along the sides. Interlace. And inch that left foot over just a little and start to slide down inside that left thigh. Only as low as you can go. We're not super warmed up here yet. So we're not going for full humble warrior unless you're ready for it. That's a lot though. We haven't done anything. So maybe those arms lift up away from the body, maybe not. Listen to your body. Don't force this. I usually don't do this pose till much later in the class. All right, release. Bring those fingertips inside the foot. Open your left toes and hop it forward into yogic squat. Find your breath, push those thighs open, draw those thumbs in. Find your length, find your breath. Maybe even close the eyes. The closer we bring the thumbs to the heart, the more those elbows push the thighs away. And inhale up. Exhale down. Keep going with the breath. One more time. And hold, push those knees open. Plant those palms, step those feet back to our downward facing dog. Get back to those railroad tracks. Get that nice solid down dog. So push back, squeeze the inside edge of those shoulders, bottom inside edge of those shoulder blades together as you push the hips back, draw the heels down. They're not going to touch for most of us. Maybe by the end of class. Float that right leg up. Nice inhale, lift high. Exhale, knee to chest, hold and squeeze. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Now push away from the ground and tuck in like you're trying to touch your nose to your tummy and then kick through. Even I didn't get through that time. You gotta wiggle it through a little bit. Maybe wiggle that back foot back a little. Find your low lunge, nice and low. Take a moment to get situated there. Float those arms along the sides. Airplane arms. Check in with that right hip. I just caught myself popping that hip out to the side because it makes it so much easier. So make sure that right hip is right behind the knee. You've got a straight line from the knee to the hip joint. Find that Padasana on that front foot. Lift that back knee up. Press through the heel, lengthening from heel to crown. Breathing. Interlace. Try and switch the interlace to the funky feeling grasp. Squeeze the shoulder blades together as you press the knuckles back. Maybe lift the arms up a little bit. Keep breathing. And slowly float that knee down as you sweep those arms up into Anjaneyasana. Nice inhale. Exhale, slowly release. Lift that back knee back up. Fly those arms back along the sides. And interlace. And then inch that right foot over a little bit. And start to slide down inside that thigh. Only as low as you can go. Don't force this, like I said before. Keep your breath going. And slowly release. Bring those fingertips to the floor inside the foot. Open the toes. Hop that back foot forward. Find your yogic squat. And take it up. Inhale. Let those arms float down. Turn those toes forward for Stapha Brahman, hands to the heart. Inhale up. Exhale, dive it down, arms to a T, hinge. Keep going till you feel the backs of those legs. Half lift, slight bend in the knees. Sweep those arms forward. Inhale, reach. Exhale, let go. Drop, 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 drop. Dangle, dangle, dangle. Give that head a little wiggle. Let those arms dangle from the shoulders like wet noodles. Soften the jaw, maybe even take an inhale through the nose and a flutter through the mouth. And let's take it up. Take your time on this one. Next time we're coming up faster. Stretch those arms out once you get up standing. And then back to the heart, bend those knees. All right, nice big breaths. Nice big inhale up. And exhale, hinge. Overhead, big inhale. Nice, releasing exhale, drop it down. When you're ready, inhale up, stretch those arms out and back to the heart. One more time, your own pace, big breaths. And turning those toes out, dropping back down into our yogic squat. Press those knees open. Find the breath, sit up as tall as you can. And plant those palms, step those feet back to downward facing dog. And just press on back. All right, let's float that left leg up again. Nice inhale, exhale through to the thumb. This time not so low, little high, kind of a high lunge as you rise up, so we're a little higher. Sink into that back heel though for stability. Pull the knee back, get that back leg strong. Then get that left knee right over the ankle. Bring that right hip so it's square to the front. Arms overhead. Warrior one lunge. Keep that back leg strong so you start to really feel the opening in the front of that hip. If you want to go back, feel free. If that's too much, then don't do it. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the heart and twist to the left. You might have to inch that knee back or that foot back a little bit if you're not low enough. And push open. So push the elbow against the knee to help you push open into your twist. Keep that back leg strong. You can always drop the knee down if you have to. Look over that elbow. Keep the breath going. Drop the knee down if it's not already. Sink into that right hip. So bend your left knee. It's going to go past your ankle because we were in high lunge, not low lunge, but we're going right back up. Lift that knee back up and float those arms back up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, dive it down as Diane falls over. Hop it forward. Walk those hands forward, square up. So you have to bend your left knee to get that right hip square to the ground. So get that hip so it's aiming to the ground. Push away from the floor. Get onto those first 3 fingers and just push up and see how straight you can get that left leg without opening that right hip. And then float that left arm up. Reach from the heel to the fingertips. Gaze at the floor. Find the breath. And then bring that left hand down, open that right arm up into baby, or not baby half moon, full half moon, full half moon. Oh, I want my brain back. Open up the hip, reach, and bend that knee, float that foot down to warrior two. Thing is, other than last night, like I've been getting sleep. I've had more sleep the past 2 months, ironically, than I have regular sleep anyway. So I don't know, my brain's just fuzzy. It's in numb mode. All right, let's open up that knee. Stuff's been going on with my son too, so I'm a little distracted. Open up that knee, get that weight. You want to feel some weight on that left foot. Float those arms up when you're ready. Drop the shoulders down, find your warrior two. Check out your alignment, find your breath. Inhale. Exhale, dive forward. Bring that left arm inside the leg and reaching down for the floor, but not so much that it causes you to round. Open up that right arm, that right armpit. So you're staying open and reaching from ankle to fingertips. And then float back up. Inhale. And exhale, reverse. Reach from that hip crease to those fingertips and slide those right fingertips down the leg. And straighten that front leg, triangle. We're not going to stay here long, so just find as close to triangle as you can get and float back up. Inhale. All right, let's connect those with the breath. So inhale here. Exhale, dive forward, reaching for the ground in this extended side angle. Float back up. Inhale. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, side angle. I usually do reverse, so I gotta remember. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Warrior two, inhale. Triangle, exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, side angle. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse. Inhale. And triangle. Let's pause. Let's bring that arm down. Float that right arm down. Open up. So open up that right hip. Push that left hip crease back like you're trying to stack your right hip on top of your left. Squeeze that right glute. Draw the belly in as you lengthen from the hips to the crown. And then float that arm back up, finding your Trikonasana. Triangle pose. And let's extend it. Extend that right arm overhead alongside the ear. Keep that breath going. Windmill that right hand behind you. Float it down to the ground. Plant that palm. Come to the outside of your right foot until you can slide that left foot back to Vashisthasana, side plank. And around to plank. Center off. Inhale, push up, 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 up. Exhale, knees down. Lie down. Nice big inhale on your cobra. And exhale. Tuck those toes, push up and push back to our down dog. Push on back, draw that belly in. Find that pose. When you're ready, float that right leg up. Nice inhale.
Right?
Yes. Right leg. Kick, yes, yes. Yep. Our high lunge.
Yeah,
Yep. I'm like, okay, which way did we twist? That's how you know. Are we right here? Let's bring that left hip square. Get that back leg strong. Sink the heel down. It's not going to touch. We're just looking for some rootedness there. Get that knee over the ankle. Float the arms up when you're ready. Maybe a back bend if you like, only if you did it on the other side and it felt good. Inhale, exhale, hands to heart and twist. To the right this time. You might have to wiggle that back foot back a little bit to get down low enough to be able to push against that knee to find your twist. Keep that back leg strong. Looking over the elbow. Keep breathing. Keep noticing. And then floating back up. Oh no, come back. Back to your twist. Go back, go back. Drop the knee down. We stayed in our twist there and sunk down. So bend that right knee. It's going to go past the ankle a little. That's okay. Now we're coming back up. Back up. Float those arms up. Inhale. Exhale. Fingertips to the ground. Hop that back foot off the ground. Walk the hands forward. Square off the hip. So you got to bend that right knee till you get that hip square. Find those first 3 fingers and push away from the ground. Keep that hip nice and square. Reach through the heel. Float that right arm up when you're ready. Keep the breath going. And bring that hand down. Float the other one up into our half moon. Keep the breath going. And to our warrior 2. So take a moment here to find your alignment. Find the outside of that foot. Keep that knee open. Those shoulders melt down. Draw the belly in. Find the breath. Nice inhale here. And let's find our side angle. Let's just feel it first. See what it feels like on this side. And then back to our warrior 2. And our reverse. Open up that knee as you reach from the hip to the fingertips. Slide that left hand down the leg. Back to our warrior 2. And then our Trikonasana triangle. All right, back up. Let's flow with that breath. So warrior 2 is our inhale. Inhale here. Exhale, side angle. If the fingertips don't come to the floor, use the elbow on the thigh. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, reverse. Inhale, warrior 2. And exhale, triangle. Inhale, warrior 2. Exhale, not reverse. Side angle. Habits. That's why it's good to switch things up. We're habitual creatures. Keep flowing. Keep breathing. One more time. All right, let's hold this triangle next time we get there. Open up, bring that arm down. Find that openness, twist open. Extend that arm, find the breath. Let's go ahead and reach that arm overhead alongside the ear. Reaching for the front, breathe. And then bring that arm behind you like you're gonna touch the back wall, windmilling down until that palm can plant on the ground. Come to the outside of that left foot and slide that right foot back to Vashisthasana. Side plank. And around to plank. Inhale, push up. Exhale, shift forward onto those toes, chaturanga. Flip those feet, up dog. And use your core to lift those hips to downward facing dog. Pedal the feet, rock the hips, and push on back. And let's close this all off, our flow, with some 3 sun salutations. So walk those feet forward to the front. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hinge. And all the way up. So your options, as most of you know, you can do knees, chest, chin, and cobra, or you can do that chaturanga and up dog. So whatever feels right and good. Maybe you mix it up a little bit. Maybe on one you do whatever, and it doesn't matter. We're just gonna flow. Inhale up. Exhale, dive it down. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, step those feet back. Inhaling into our plank, and then find your way through to down dog, however that's gonna be. God, I'm getting weak. And then we're gonna come right back through and do it 2 more times. So find your own pace here, because my breath cues, I know, are not the perfect breath cues for everybody. And my pace isn't exactly what everybody else wants. Maybe you want to pause the breath and hold a pose for half a breath. Find your rhythm. There's no right or wrong with any of this. All right, so the next time you land in down dog, if you ended up walking through to the front, go ahead and just work your way back to downward facing dog. We'll make full circle and end where we began this morning as far as our flow goes. Push on back, squeeze those shoulder blades together, and then take it down to extended child's pose. If those wrists need a little love, give it to them. Keep that breath going wherever you're at, whatever your hands are doing. Nice big breath. Let that belly relax here. And let's rise up. And shift over to the side. Stretch those legs on out in front of us. And now, get moving. Now our muscles are warm to stretch out. So stretching cold muscles is pretty ineffective. So it's always best to do our actual stretching, like when we're gonna really try and stretch the muscles, at least halfway through class or towards the end. And I don't always do it either. Sometimes we stretch a little bit before, hit that, but warm muscles stretch a lot better. Let's flex those feet. Inhale up. Exhale, reach as far forward as you can, like you're gonna reach right past your toes. And then inhale back up. And exhale. Inhale up. And exhale, float those arms down along the sides. So if you want a little tricep workout here, you can grab flat blocks and we can do some little tricep push-ups if you want. If you don't want to, you can just hang out in Dandasana with the arms the thumbs are almost underneath your hips. You're almost sitting on your thumbs and you're just pressing the palms into the ground and rolling the shoulders back and drawing belly in and sitting up tall. If you want a little arm workout, you can get those flat blocks right up against the hips. Same positioning with the hands, and push up so your buns lift off the floor. And you can just hold it there, or you can go up and down. If you feel like it's stable enough, I have these nice solid cork blocks, so they're a little more solid. With the foam blocks, I don't think they would be solid enough, but you can try it. If you flip them up on the narrow side, you get a little more lift, and it's a little bit more of a workout. So whatever works for you at this point. If you're tired, then you can just hang out. All right, let's move those blocks out of the way. If you were using them, let's tuck those wrists, those fingers down, and give those wrists a little stretch, even if you were just in Dandasana. It's a little intense on the wrists. Other side. All right, let's find our Paschimottanasana. So give those wrists a little roll if they need it. Wiggle those sitting bones back. If you're tight in those hamstrings, shift those ankles forward. Work your way forward with a nice flat back. Keep moving those sitting bones back as you go forward. If you're flexible, then you're going to want to make sure you kind of lift up and move back so you don't get caught underneath. Keep that heart lifting and reaching. Keep that breath going. Close the eyes for a moment and just tune in. Where do you feel this? And slowly release. Let's take those feet wide. Wow, we haven't warmed up the inner thighs a whole lot though, have we? I mean, they're warm enough, but not for our fullest, widest, wide-legged. But let's just touch on these inner thighs a little bit. Bring it forward when you're ready. If you're tight here again, hands up against the back of the hips and push forward from there. You're trying to push the hips forward and the torso is just coming along for the ride. So obviously, if you're a little more flexible, those hands can come in front. I use mine to kind of roll my legs open because they roll in when I come into this pose. I love doing this one up against the wall. All right, and let's release and bring those feet together. Come on. Into Baddha Konasana, bound angle. It's time. Well, my rule has been with my knee, if I don't have pain, then why would I have the surgery? But now it's to the point where, am I doing more damage with the bone on bone, even though I don't know why I don't have pain. I used to, went away. Draw the knees down, pull the hips forward, but literally it's getting caught more and more. Like it's not going from bent to straight and vice versa. Very easily anymore. Draw those knees down. Pull the hips forward as you sit up tall. Draw the shoulders back and down. If you want to do that little bounce, feel free. If you just want to feel the stretch, that's cool too. Close the eyes for a moment and just notice. All right, let's bring the feet closer if you can, if kind of to wherever they'll go. And then lean on over to the right and take that left hand to the thigh. So if you have shorter arms, if you're tight here, it's going to be easy because your knee is going to be popping up pretty high and you can push it away. If your knee is really low and you have shorter arms, you might find that a block on top of that thigh can help you push it down a little bit more. So we don't want to kind of lean back too much on this. It's a little, we have to find that right hand is just going to kind of go wherever it goes. So we're leaning away as we're pushing down. So again, this is another one that I prefer to do up against the wall because then we don't have to worry about our backs. It's not gonna do anything to the back. Let's go to the other side. It's just that we have that support behind us so we don't have to worry about leaning back. Ooh, the side's tighter. Keep that breath going. And back to center. Draw those knees together, bring it down onto the back. Hug those knees right on in, give a little rock. And stretch that left leg out and bring it to the ground. As you pull that right knee in. Like you're trying to get your whole thigh to compress down into your ribs. Close the eyes. Take a nice deep breath all the way down into the belly. And release. Take that right knee over to the left for your twist. So maybe that left hand comes down on top of the knee and gently holds it there as you float that left arm open to a T. So keep it kind of straight out from the shoulders. So when you float that arm open, you get a little stretch in that pectoral on the front of that shoulder. Roll your right ribs open. Find the breath. And bring it onto the back. Right foot hits the floor, left foot hits the floor, both feet on the floor. Lift the hips up, bring them back down, and then bring that left knee into the chest and stretch that right leg out. And again, pulling that knee into the chest as deeply as it will go, trying to find that compression between the thigh and ribs. Nice deep breath all the way down into the belly. And taking it over into your twist. Letting that hand come to the outside of the knee if you did on the other side. Rolling those ribs open, letting that arm drop open. Let the weight of the arm help to open up that shoulder. And when you feel like you've been on this side about the same amount of time as the other, come on back. Both feet hitting the floor, knees are bent. Lift those hips up, bring them back down, then get those feet positioned for bridge. So get those ankles underneath the knees. Lift the hips up just a little bit. Wiggle those shoulders together. If you can interlace underneath, great. If not, that's okay too. You can just keep the arms pressing into the ground. So press into the shoulders, press into the feet, start to lift the hips up towards the ceiling as you draw the chest towards the chin. Keeping that breath going. And coming down about halfway, wiggling those shoulders out from underneath you until you can get those hips all the way back down. Drop those knees from side to side. And shield wiping from left to right. And then back to center. Stretch those legs out long. Stretch those arms up overhead. Interlace the fingers and press those palms away as you stretch on out. Nice inhale. And exhale, release. Bring those knees back in. Give a little rock from side to side. And let's bring those feet back to the ground. Let's take that right ankle on top of that left thigh. And then bring it into figure four. So start bringing that left knee into the chest. Reach through, grab it. You can grab the knee, you can grab behind the thigh. If you can't grab either, you can just use that left leg to start drawing that ankle closer. Keep that breath going. And release that side and come on right over to the other. Take your time. I forgot to mention to flex that foot. So flex that left foot as you draw that right knee in. Holy tightness. Keep that breath going wherever you end up. And try to pull the center of your back of your hips down into the ground. So don't let the hips roll up off the floor. Keep that breath going. And slowly release, stretch those legs out long. Stretch the arms up overhead once again. Nice big inhale. And then exhale, release, kick those feet on up to the ceiling, grab those ankles or calves, whatever you can grab for happy baby. Again, just like we did in our figure 4, glue the center of the back of the hips down into the ground as you push down on those ankles, those calves, those feet, whatever you've got. Keep rooting down into that sacrum, into the center of the back of the hips. Keep that breath going. Releasing, bringing those feet together and dropping the knees open into reclined butterfly. So get those feet lined up, get those heels pressing together, the bottoms of the feet pressing together, and then just let those legs get heavy. Let the arms flop open. If your low back is popping off the floor quite a bit, then draw the belly down. It's okay if it doesn't have to be glued down to the floor. We just don't want a real lift there. Soften the jaw. Let those arms and shoulders start to get heavy. Start to connect with the breath, feeling the exhales. Help you drop, help those legs get a little softer, a little freer, a little heavier. And before we move out of this, just think about where your body wants to be for your final relaxation this morning. Maybe it's here with blocks underneath the outsides of the knees. Maybe it's just stretching those legs on out into Shavasana. So just take a moment. If there's anything else your body feels like it needs to be ready for your final relaxation, then please take a moment to give the body what it needs. And when you're ready, finding that just right place. Connecting with the breath. Nice, slow, long, deep breath makes its way in. Feeling the inhales come in, fill you up. Feeling the exhales move out, helping you to let go. Connecting deeply with those exhales and that feeling of release and letting go. Maybe adding mantra. To the breath. Maybe keeping with our theme of letting go, using those words, let go. Or maybe there's an affirmation or phrase that works better for you. Soften the jaw a little more. Let go a little more. Let those eyes relax down into their sockets. Feel the shoulders melt a little more. Feel that right arm get super heavy, just falling into the ground, weightless. And the left arm, feel that arm get super heavy. It's so relaxed. It's just dead weight falling into the ground. And the neck and shoulders, ribs and belly and spine, all settling downward, sinking into the ground. Feel the weight of the ribs and organs sink into the spine, into the back side of the ribs. Feel the legs get a little heavier. Feeling them just flop open. And the right leg is so heavy. Every bit of tension and tightness disappears. And same with that left leg. Weightless, heavy. Every ounce of tension in the body and mind in this moment just fades away, even if it's just for this moment. Sink that last little bit into letting go. Coming back to that breath, back to mantra. Let go. Noticing where the mind is at in this moment. Bring it back if it's wandered. Bringing awareness to the body. And starting to move the body in whatever way feels right and good for you. Taking time, taking care, stretching, wiggling, moving until the body is ready to rise up to seated. Taking your time getting there. Allowing those hands to land at the heart when you arrive in Anjali Mudra. Right. Finding that long spine. Press those hands in. Take a nice deep breath through. Nice big inhale. And exhale, bowing down. Saying thank you to yourself for showing up here on your mat. taking this time for you.